Chapter 7, Choice. The room was silent. The pitch-black crystal ball emitted a faint glow, illuminating the uncertain expression on Li Luo's face, making him appear somewhat eerie. At this moment, he was undoubtedly caught in an extremely difficult choice. The empty palace within his body, under the full effort of his parents, had suddenly given him great hope and a glimmer of light. Yet, what he did not expect was that this hope required such a heavy price. Only 5 years of lifespan remained. If within 5 years he could not step into the Marquis level and evolve his life form, then his lifespan would end completely. 5 years to reach the Marquis level. He was now 17. 5 years later, he would be 23. From what Li Luo knew, in the history of the Great Xia, there had never been a Marquis at such a young age. What kind of talent, opportunity, and effort would it take to create such a miracle? Li Luo did not know. At this moment, he felt a tremendous pressure descending upon him, making it hard to breathe. At present, he could choose to continue living a mediocre life. The Lulan house left by his parents was quite a substantial inheritance. Even if he could not fully control it, as long as he was willing to back down on many things, living a life of wealth and leisure would not be a problem. But if he chose the path of the acquired resonance, he would have to stay tense at all times, seizing every second, squeezing every bit of his potential, and fighting against the heavens to seize that extremely slim chance of survival. Between the two, which should he choose? Li Luo slowly closed his eyes, his emotions surging. He also thought of those pure, beautiful golden eyes. Deep down, he naturally had feelings of fondness and longing toward Jiang Qingyi. Li Luo did not deny this, for as he said, Jiang Qingyi's excellence was enormously attractive to her peers. To admire a beautiful, virtuous woman was only human nature, nothing shameful about it. In truth, since childhood, Li Luo had competed with Jiang Qingyi in many areas, but for various reasons, he had mostly lost rather than won. As they grew older, this competition gradually decreased. Especially when their palaces opened, Li Luo realized the gap between them was widening. From that moment, Jiang Qingyi rarely competed with him in these matters anymore. The experiences of these years had seemingly made Li Luo appear much calmer, but only he knew how intense his competitiveness was deep inside. The agreement with Jiang Qingyi might well have been a way to force himself forward. Under normal circumstances, trying to catch up to Jiang Qingyi, who had already left him far behind, would be as hard as climbing to the heavens. Yet now, there was a glimmer of hope. Should he give up on this hope? The answer was impossible. Li Luo's eyes suddenly snapped open, a sharpness within them like never before. He stared at the light projections of Li Taixuan and Tan Talon before him and softly said, "Dad, Mom, I've always had an ambition, even though to others, it might seem laughable and arrogant. I don't just want to catch up with Sister Qingyi, I want to surpass her. And not just her. I want to surpass you both as well." He grinned, revealing his white teeth. "I want people to stop saying this is Li Taixuan and Tan Talon's son when they see me. Instead, I want them to say when they see you, so these are the parents of the legendary Li Luo." Li Luo chuckled softly, saying, "Dad, Mom, thank you for giving me this gift on my 17th birthday. Don't worry. I won't let you down. 5 years to become a Marquis. Fine. I, Li Luo, accept this challenge." As the final word fell, Li Luo's gaze became decisive. Without any hesitation, he reached out his hand and pressed it directly onto the black crystal ball. Hiss. The crystal ball immediately reacted violently. At that moment, Li Luo felt intense pain in his palm, as if countless needles were piercing into it. Then, the black crystal ball began to slowly split open, and within its deepest part lay two items. One was a black jade slip, which, if he guessed correctly, contained the so-called minor art of divine resonance forging. The other was a strange object, appearing like a liquid yet also like a phantom stream of light. It was azure in color, refracting faint holy light within. Li Luo's gaze locked tightly onto that mysterious object that seemed both liquid and light. He knew that this was the object that could change his fate, the acquired resonance his parents had painstakingly forged. And he could sense that from the moment he laid eyes on it, there was a resonance from the depths of his soul. It was as if this object had been born from within him. As his parents had said, this acquired resonance was forged from his own soul and blood essence, making them naturally compatible. Sigh. As Li Luo's gaze remained fixed on the mysterious acquired resonance, a sigh filled with complex emotions quietly echoed. Li Luo looked up and saw the light projections of Li Taixuan and Tan Talon becoming animated again, their faces showing complicated expressions. Xiao Luo, it seems you've made your choice, Li Taixuan said slowly. As your father, your choice pains me, but as a man, it makes me feel gratified and proud. Your path ahead will be full of obstacles, but as the son of Li Taixuan, how could you fear them? Beside him, Tan Talon's eyes shimmered as if with tears. She must have felt deeply pained, imagining that her son would have only 5 years of life when they recorded this message. As a mother, it was hard for her to accept. But she did not try to dissuade him, knowing this was a choice Li Luo alone had to make, and since he had chosen, she would fully support him and believe in him. Xiao Luo, since you have chosen, let me tell you about the acquired resonance we forged for you. Li Luo's spirit lifted at her words. This acquired resonance was forged by your father and me after countless experiments and attempts, finally crafted from the most compatible materials we could find. It is of the 4th grade, with water as the primary resonance and light as the secondary. Li Luo was stunned for a moment, then gave a bitter smile. How could it be a water resonance? Among elemental resonances, while there was no absolute hierarchy, in terms of offensive and destructive power, fire, lightning, and metal were the strongest. Water resonances, by comparison, were known for being gentle and soft, clearly less aggressive. He had not expected that the first acquired resonance his parents forged for him would be of this type. Xiao Luo, are you thinking that the water resonance is too gentle and not what you wanted? Do not underestimate it. The water resonance may be slightly weaker in offensive power, but its vast and enduring nature surpasses other resonances. If you can harness its advantages, it will be no weaker than any other resonance. Moreover, your water resonance is no ordinary water resonance, for it is complemented by the light resonance. The combination of water and light, if fully developed, will produce results that will exceed your expectations. There are also 2 other very important reasons why your father and I decided on water and light for your first acquired resonance. After fusing this resonance, you will lose a large amount of blood essence, and the loss of lifespan will cause severe damage. The water resonance, being gentle, and the light resonance's power can nourish your injured body, helping you recover quickly. Li Luo suddenly understood. Indeed, in terms of healing and recovery, water and light were unmatched. And the second reason, Li Luo wondered. His question was soon answered as Li Taixuan smiled. The second reason is that we hope you will become a resonance refiner in the future to assist your cultivation. Do you remember the basic requirement for a resonance refiner? Li Luo paused, then replied, the basic requirement is to possess either a water or light resonance. With the widespread use of resonances, many auxiliary professions had emerged, among them the resonance refiner, whose skill was to refine spirit liquids and wondrous lights that could temper and improve resonance quality. There were also alchemists, but that required resonances such as wood and fire. Craftsmen who forged resonance gear required metal, fire, and earth resonances. Resonance refiners and alchemists were similar, but the key difference was that resonance refiners could only enhance resonance quality, while alchemists primarily refined pills to increase resonance power. Water and light resonances possessed purifying properties, making them the fundamental and necessary requirement for resonance refiners. But why should I become a resonance refiner? Li Luo asked, puzzled. Before he could voice this, Li Taixuan's voice continued, because you possess an empty resonance, allowing you to endlessly temper and refine the quality of your resonances. Becoming a resonance refiner will give you a deeper understanding of this process and increase your chances of perfecting your resonances. Moreover, most resonance refiners possess only one of either water or light resonance, while you will have water as the main and light as the secondary. The two purifying forces complement each other, and honestly, with such conditions, it would be a waste not to become a resonance refiner. The spirit liquids and wondrous lights you refine will likely be far superior to those made by other resonance refiners. Tantalon chuckled softly. Xiao Luo, consider this a backup plan your father and I have prepared for you. If you bankrupt the Lulan house, at least you'll have a skill to rely on, ensuring you won't suffer anywhere. Li Luo opened his mouth, but in the end, he could only scratch his head. What else could he say? His parents had indeed planned meticulously, ensuring that the resonance they prepared for him would be used to its fullest potential. However, Xiao Luo, this first acquired resonance is only the beginning, so your father and I could forge it using your soul and blood essence. The second and third resonances are far more advanced and complex, so you will have to figure them out on your own. We recommend that you consider forging the second acquired resonance only after reaching the resonant master stage. We have left some of our experiences in forging within the Jade Slip for your reference. The minor art of divine resonance forging within the Jade Slip can only forge the second resonance. As for the forging method for the third resonance, we have left it in the royal city. The details are in the Jade Slip, and you can retrieve it when the time is right. At this point, Li Luo noticed that the light projections of Li Taixuan and Tantalon began to dim, making his heart tighten as he realized this communication was coming to an end. Dad, Mom. Li Luo couldn't help but reach out, trying to grasp the projections, but his hand passed right through. Li Taixuan and Tantalon looked down at him, their eyes filled with kindness and love. Xiao Luo, this is where we have to end for now. We both believe that since you have chosen this path, you will surely make it through these 5 years. We know you worry about us, but don't worry. We will not let anything happen to us before seeing you again. Finally, Xiao Luo, remember, no matter how much you worry about us, do not come looking for us before you have reached the marquee level. The light projections dimmed further, and eventually, they disappeared completely, leaving the room silent and dim once again. Li Luo sat in front of the black crystal ball, his eyes red, but in the end, he did not shed tears. He simply wiped his eyes and softly said, Dad, Mom, thank you for everything you've done for me. Please wait for me. The next time we meet, I will make you feel astonished and proud. Gradually calming the surging emotions within him, Li Luo first reached out and put away the black jade slip within the crystal ball. Then, his gaze fell upon that strange object shimmering with azure and holy light. Starting today, I am also someone who possesses a resonance. A burning light rose within Li Luo's eyes. Without any further hesitation, he reached out and grasped the acquired resonance. Hiss. The moment he touched it, an icy feeling spread from his palm, followed by an indescribable, intense pain that suddenly erupted within his body. The pain was so intense that it instantly drowned out his rationality. His vision turned black, and his entire body slowly collapsed to the ground. End of